Hey guys, I'm Carl, lead designer at Garage Games. Today I'm going to be talking you through how to play a round of Rain the card game. I'm using our tabletop simulate prototype to demonstrate. The objective of Rain the card game is to gain 9 or more legitimacy points and hold the Onyx crown. You are then named rightful ruler of Kazath and immediately win the game. There are two ways of gaining legitimacy points: by taking the Onyx crown and being named the temporary regent, or by backing someone who did. To start, we'll need to select a number of houses to use. We have 3 players, so we'll be using 3 houses. Let's go with Frostreave, Lightbringer, and Evergreen. Place their house cards, along with the Onyx Crown card, in the center of the table. Shuffle together the Frostreave, Lightbringer, and Evergreen military cards. Take the military cards and event cards, and place them in the middle of the table. We won't be using the other cards this game. Randomly determine who goes first. Finally, each player draws 5 military cards and 2 event cards. Rain is split into 4 phases: the influence phase, the plotting phase, the combat phase, and the regent phase. Before we can think about touching the Onyx Crown, we must have the backing of one of the noble houses. Starting from the first player, we may play any number of military cards of the same house face down in front of us. This is our bid for that house. Once everyone has had a chance to do this, all bids are revealed simultaneously. The player with the greatest combined force for a particular house takes that house's card and places it in front of them. They are now in the running to take the Onyx Crown. Discard all cards played into the discard pile. You can only ever have one house card at a time. If you are ever in possession of 2, return one of your choice to the center. If there is a tie, neither player gets the house unless there is a regent. Now that we have a house at our side, we can try to take the Onyx Crown, but first we must muster our forces and convince others to join our cause. Starting from the first player, we may place one military or event card face up in front of any player with a house card. This card becomes part of that player's army. Once everyone has done this, we continue around a second time. This time we can play up to 2 more cards in the same way, but face down instead of face up. You are considered as backing whomever you play your last card down in front of. There are many reasons why you might want to back someone else. Besides the extra legitimacy you gain, you will also be entitled to 1 extra card later on. The other players may have also promised you some of the cards that they will gain as regent in return for your backing. Be warned, players are not required to stick by their word in Rain, and could betray you at any moment. The battle is set, and now armies will clash to decide who will take the Onyx Crown and become regent for this round. After rearranging their face-down cards to maintain secrecy, players simultaneously reveal them, totaling up their army's force, starting from the first player. They then resolve any mechanics text on the card in their army in whichever order they choose. For each pair of military cards that match your house card, you gain 1 additional force to your army. If you have no military cards that match your house card, your army loses 4 force. Note that it doesn't matter who played a card. If it's in your army, it resolves for you. After everything is totaled, the player with the largest combined force in their army wins combat, and places the Onyx Crown in front of them. They become the new regent and gain 3 legitimacy points. Any player whom backed them also gain 1 legitimacy point. If there is a tie, no one wins, and the Onyx Crown remains in the center. With the dust settling, it is now time to regroup and rule over your subjects. First, each player can choose to draw 2 military cards or 1 event card. If you did not play any cards in the plotting phase, you may take both. The regent then draws a number of military cards equal to the number of players in the game. The regent can distribute these cards and any cards in hand, how they see fit amongst the other players. The regent must give at least 1 card to any player whom backed them in the plotting phase, unless there was a betrayal event in their army. The discards are then shuffled into their respective piles, and play returns to the influence phase. As Regent, you have a few special abilities to help keep your subjects in check. You are the decider of all ties, even between other players. Your house cannot be bid for in the influence phase, and is safe from being stolen by any other means. Finally, in the plotting phase, you are allowed to play one extra card face down. There are a few drawbacks, however. Every time a player changes house, you must discard one card of your choice. Also, in combat, you cannot be counted as backing anyone besides yourself. There are many ways to get to the top in Reign, but very few of them involve going it alone. The one we see most commonly used is promising extra or specific cards. Cards can only be given out by the Regent in the Regent phase, so this becomes a major bargaining chip. One player might offer 2 cards if they become Regent, while the next player might try to one-up them by offering 3 cards or 2 cards of a particular house that you want. These deals are not binding. If the Regent wanted to, they could decide to go back on their word and give only 1 card. This does not win them many friends, however, and future backing might be harder to come by. Well, that's all we have for today. Thank you for watching, and I hope you'll enjoy playing Reign as much